Boom. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And a huge shout out to whatever time of the day it is for those people watching on the replay or listening on the replay on the Acts on This TV audio experience on Spotify or Stitcher or SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts. Just search for Acts on This TV, folks. If you're here live and you ever want to catch up with the audio, these Monday night live broadcasts in your own time, don't leave now, obviously. But you can do that over on Apple Podcasts, for instance, or Spotify. Just search for Act on This TV, all one word. So I can see loads of people are here on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here live with me tonight. We're going to cover quite a bit tonight. I'm going to be looking at two of what I think, now having read them both again, are two of the most important acting books on the planet. You'll be very happy to know that they are very affordable. They're incredibly cheap. And I gave 10 copies away today to members of actsonthis.tv who were on a live broadcast with the author for our member-only Zoom session last week. Don't worry if you weren't there. If you are a member of actsonthis.tv, head over to the website. If you don't know what actsonthis.tv is, this is actsonthis.tv. Been my life for the past 12 years, basically. What we do, ultimately, is host mastermind sessions live on Zoom every week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, and producers in TV. 7 sessions a month for less than half of what most people are charging you guys for one workshop in the industry. You're mostly, people just want to charge you 50 quid for anything these days. 24 quid a month for actsonthis.tv membership. You get 7 sessions a month with the biggest names in the business. And when I say the biggest, I mean the biggest. Look at some of the names here. Stephen Graham, doesn't need any introduction. Casting director Daniel Edwards, he cast Line of Duty. Agents from United Agents. People like Joe Wilkinson, who you'll know from Ricky Gervais's Afterlife. Top writers like Danny Brocklehurst. He wrote Brassic. He's just written a brand new drama for BBC called, I think it's BBC, or it might be Sky, called No Return. He's also the co-creator of The Stranger for Netflix. I mean, just massive stuff. Tomorrow night we have got casting director Carleen Crawford on. She's very well known for casting stuff like I Hate Susie, all of Ken Loach's films, I, Daniel Blake, Sorry We Missed You. We've got Daniel Mays there, Jill Trevelyan, casting director for Downton Abbey. I mean, just the biggest names of the business. If you're wasting money on 50 quid acting workshops that never fricking lead to work, then stop wasting your money. Get an Acts on This membership. I promise you it's implementable, actionable advice every week that will actually make a difference in your career. Last week's guest was Andy Nyman, just the Olivier award-winning Andy Nyman, an incredible guy, actor, not just an actor though, director, writer, and like I say, author of what I think are two of the most important acting books, like that every actor should just read. Two of the most important acting books ever written. They're not going to teach you how to act, but they're going to teach you how to approach the industry, and just really sort of like how to get your head in shape for succeeding. If you want to catch up with a full 90-minute chat with Andy, it's in the members area right now. If you get a membership, then you can go and access that anytime you like. If you missed it live, so I'm going to be playing out some clips tonight of that session, just like 3 2-minute clips of what was a 90-minute session. So there's loads and loads and loads of stuff still to still to get your teeth into in the main broadcast. But these are the books that we centered the broadcast around. These are the books that I just think everybody should buy. And I'm not getting any commission, like, genuinely. One thing from me, you will know if you've been around this community a while, I never, ever, ever promote stuff that I haven't bought myself, benefited from myself, and believe in. I get offered money every single week to promote shit to you guys that I am not prepared to do. Honestly, people email me every week and offer me hundreds of pounds to feature, either come on actsonthis.tv as a guest, to feature their products, feature their workshops, feature their acting classes or whatever, their courses, all that sort of stuff, and I either ignore it all, or if the email is at least nice, and it sounds like they actually do, sort of like know what Act on This is and what we do, I'll reply, but it's always a no, unless I have actually done that course, if I've bought that book, whatever it is. So anything I promote, I promise you, it's legit. The books are called The Golden Rules of Acting That Nobody Ever Tells You, and More Golden Rules of Acting That Nobody Ever Tells You. And they're dead easy reads. They're really, really easy reads. Massive writing, which I like, because I've not got very good eyes. Really well sort of like illustrated as well. And they just walk you through all different areas of the industry, from drama school to auditions to self-tapes, your mindset, just everything, basically, every single area. They're funny, witty, but obviously Andy's been in the industry 32 years, has worked with some of the biggest names in the business, has been in some of the biggest shows in the business, both theatre and TV. He's worked with Darren Brown for years as well, because he's a great magician as well. Just so much experience in these 2 books. So you'll get 32 years worth of experience across 2 books that combined, I think they're about £6 each, will cost you £12. That's what I love about books. You can literally, they are the best value ever. Audio books if you don't want to read, but books, read books in whichever way you want to consume them. You get to take in literally decades worth of information in a weekend. That's what I love about actsonthis.tv. We bring on these guests who have achieved either what we want to achieve as actors in their careers already, or a lot of what we want to achieve. We bring the casting directors on, the directors, the writers, the producers who have been in this industry decades and decades and decades, and we distill lots of their knowledge over a 90-minute session that all you have to do literally is turn up, or if you can't make it live, pop some earphones in. I'm getting a lot of people bullshitting themselves as well, by the way. Now the country's opening up a little bit. There's a lot of people taking their foot off the pedal in our industry. They're like, oh, I just don't have time to take part in that. Or, oh, I'd love to join Acts on this, but just don't have time. If you don't have 90 minutes a week to pop in some headphones, so like not actively sit in one place and watch a replay of a video, we give people the audio of all of these sessions as well. If you can't find 90 minutes while you're washing the pots, or you're walking the dog, or you're walking to the gym, or you're commuting, or whatever it is, or even sort of like, I don't know, 4 20-minute little sessions, you need to make time. I promise you, one thing I've learned in my life is there will never, ever, ever be the right time to do anything, because life will always get in the way or punch you in the face and things will go wrong. And you always think, oh, there's just not the right time to do that, or not the right time to do that. There's never a right time. Thus, the beautiful thing means it's always the right time. So unless you make time and you audit what you're doing, or you just get up an hour earlier to just consume content that in all areas of your life, not just Acts on This, but like there might be other areas of your life you want to get better at and improve at. Make time. Stop giving yourself some bullshit excuse around the practicality of it, when a lot of the time it's not even the practicality of it. That's what you're dressing it up as. It's actually fear. And I had a fascinating chat with an actress this week who is really vulnerable and candid, actually. And she's had a lot of success already, like lots of success that I would say only 2% of probably all actors achieve. And she's got so much further to go in her career. But we had a really interesting chat and really did deduce from that chat. And this applies to a lot of people, and I guess probably in parts of my life as well. We were like, actually, the reason that you've not moved forward with that thing that would really elevate her and take her to the next level, even though she's at a very high level already, was that she's afraid of success more than failure, which is fascinating. But I think it's really true on a lot of occasions. A lot of people get so close to having something, or it's like, God, you know what, I can almost reach out and touch that. And then they get afraid of like, well, it's a lot easier, and we're much more used to the feeling of failure than we are of massive success. And success can be just as frightening as failure. So, just be careful how fear is manifesting itself in your life, because it shows up in funny ways. And sometimes, you'll convince yourself of a practical reason why you can't do something, and really it is just fear that's masquerading itself as practicality. So the first, talking of fear, actually, this ties in really well with the first clip that I'm going to play out tonight. Who's ever heard of or felt imposter syndrome in their career? I'll put my hand up. I definitely have. When you first started off acting, when people would ask you, what do you do? How many people, maybe even right now, and again, be honest with me, right? Or if you're listening on the replay or whatever, you're watching the replay, you can leave a comment or just be honest with yourself. How many people still struggle when someone says, oh, what is it you do? You go, I'm an actor. And how quickly does it come out of your mouth? Or do you say things like, oh, I work behind a bar and I'm just trying to be an actor, or something like that? That's imposter syndrome. Esther says all the effing time. Sandra says, I think we all did. Definitely. I've definitely felt imposter syndrome all the time, says Zoe. And it's funny, isn't it? With anybody who says they haven't, what else do you lie about? What else are you lying about? Because we all have. I have in so many different areas of my life. In some areas, it doesn't last very long when I have evidence almost that I can prove to myself about why I can say that. But even, like, I guess even there's a little bit of trepidation. 30 TV credits now. Decent stuff as well. I'm doing another show. I'm doing Jack Thorne's new BBC Two show, Independence Day, over the weekend. This weekend I filmed that. There's still a bit of trepidation when people ask me what I do, where I say, oh, I'm an actor. Even now, not because of the imposter syndrome, that I don't feel that I deserve that title. I feel I've proved that to myself, but almost like I'm a bit nervous of what their response is going to be, whether they'll take me seriously. Although, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But I think we all have that. And I spoke to Andy Nyman about it on this broadcast, because it was part of a rule, one of his golden rules of acting, in his first book. And I'm just going to play you his answer. It's interesting because, Andy, even at his level, Olivier award-winning, 32 years, worked with the biggest names in the game, is like, it will never go away. Like, you need to realise that will always kind of be there in one sense or another. And it's just about, sort of like working with it and appreciating that everybody feels like that. So if you do, it's not, nothing wrong with you. It's completely normal. But here's just 2 minutes on what Andy had to say about imposter syndrome. What advice would you have to people who are feeling like a bit of imposter syndrome?
There's a tip in the first book, and this is allied to it, is a lot of that is about nervousness and fear of failure.
Yeah.
And feeling you're not worthy of it. And the nerves just then block everything. And the first thing that I would urge people to do is to stop saying nervous. You replace the word nervous with excited.
Yes.
How are you feeling for that audition? Stop saying, I'm really nervous, I don't think I'm right for it. How are you feeling for the audition? I'm excited. I probably won't get it, who knows, but I'm really excited, actually. How are you feeling for that one day of filming that the chap I was sort of doing the voiceover of who's going off? How are you feeling for that? I'm really nervous. I don't want to mess it up. How are you feeling? I'm excited. It's a whole new thing. And what happens is this. You will feel bogus at first. It will feel strange at first. But slowly but surely, it becomes not only a habit, it becomes part of you. And the nerves start to go, because that is the thing that blocks you more than anything. So dispelling those, stop saying nervous, change it for excited. And it sounds woolly and it sounds like pop science bullshit, but I'm telling you, it works, because the neuroscience on it is when you're nervous and when you're excited, it's fundamentally exactly the same thing.
The physiology is the same, isn't it?
Physiology is the same thing. So your brain's firing off, you're getting sweaty palms, you're getting butterflies, your heart rate's going, the adrenaline has kicked in. What is different is the label you put on it.
Yes.
And that changes everything. But imposter syndrome is always there. So just know that it's there and it's fine, but just, great, that can go back there now. And I'll just do this to the best I can.
Boom! actonthis.tv if you want to watch the full 90-minute chat with Andy, and also get access to about 400 hours worth of other content with some of the biggest names in the business. But yes, labels are so freaking important. Ultimately, self-talk and the way that you are looking at the world in this industry and the way you label stuff is absolutely just everything. It can be the unlock to so much more success and fulfillment than if you are looking at everything and labeling it in a different way. The thing itself is still the same, remains the same, but the label you put on it, determines the impact that it has on you, in the way that you're looking at it. So when you look at fear or nervousness in terms of the physiology of it, the biology of it within your body, what Andy said there is exactly right. We all know what it's like when you're going into an audition and you're like, oh God, my palms are a bit sweaty, wipe them on my pants again. Heartbeats raised, heartbeats beating a bit faster. You're much more sort of like, aware of your situation. There's all kinds of chemicals ultimately flowing through your body, and you can either choose to label that as fear or excitement, because when you are excited, the exact same thing physiology wise is happening in your body. When you're really excited about something, you're going on holiday or whatever and you can't sleep, it's like, maybe you're a bit sweaty, you're a bit excited, or I don't know, maybe you're super excited about going on a date. Now the world is unlocked again. I've heard a lot of people speak about that this week, and you're excited about it, heart rate's raised a bit, hands are a little bit sweaty, kind of physiology wise. It's exactly the same, but the label you put on it will determine how it impacts you. And walking into an audition, you absolutely don't want to be telling yourself with your internal self-talk that you are nervous, because you are just going to fuck up. You'll forget your lines, because a lot of people even have that in their head. They're just repeating to themselves over and over again, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines, don't forget your lines. And you overwhelm your brain, because your brain is like, well, I have an infinite number of alternatives to do. What do you actually want me to do? So it just latches on to forgetting your lines, and it just makes you forget your lines. You need to tell your brain actually what you want it to do. Literally, when you walk into that room, set an intention before you go in. My intention before I walk into any audition room is always very, very simple. It's just to leave the people in that room better than I found them. Do the best of my ability to achieve that. And that's literally just out your energy and what you bring into the room, and just being positive and a great person to sort of, just giving value, a great person to have around. So, if they ever have a decision to make where they're like, actually, yeah, these guys are both, just as good as each other talent-wise, but this one's an absolute knobhead and just really drained the room of all the energy, but this one sort of brought something positive to the room. I'm like, I want to work with that guy as opposed to this guy. Even if this guy is a bit more talented, I still want to work with this guy because, at 5 to 7 at night, on a shoot when you're losing daylight, we want the good person to be around, not the dickhead. When you've got one shot left and you've got 5 minutes to get it in the can. So yeah, labels, super, super important. And start replacing those negative labels you might have in your life with positive ones. I did this a few years ago, and the example I always make is I used to say to people when it was like, I can get very overwhelmed with the number of tasks that I have to do. I'm juggling about 4 careers, right? And I love it, and I've chosen to do it. No one's put a gun to my head to do it. It's all my decision, but I run acts on this. This is a massive job. It's a huge job. There's only 2 team members who run this entire site. So I have that. I have my own acting career. I've got thankfully a really, really solid voiceover career as well. I have a life, obviously a little bit of one, and all the stuff that happens to just run your life. So it's like 4 jobs, and very often people would be like, "Oh, Ross, how's it going?" And I'd always say like, "Oh, good man, but I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed," or whatever it is. Negative. It's a really negative way to describe my situation. As someone said to me, many years ago, like 2014, you want to stop saying that. You want to start saying things like, I'm blessed with opportunity. Because there's a lot of people, my past self included, who would have given anything to be in this situation where you've got so much opportunity going on that it's like, yes, it's overwhelming, but it's all really good stuff. When I was working for minimum wage in that computer game shop, I'd have given anything to be in this position. I shouldn't label that as an overwhelming thing. It's a real positive thing, and I'm blessed to be in that position. And when you say that and those words come out your mouth, it makes you feel a hell of a lot better. Like, not panicky, not anxious, just kind of like, right, no, this is cool. This is a really, what a first world problem to have. Same when you're describing, maybe you got a cold, and hopefully it's just a cold. It's not COVID. Don't want any of that. I just need that to go away now. A lot of people will be like, oh, I'm suffering with a cold. It's like, no, don't. That's negative self-talk, and your subconscious heard that. You are beating a cold. It makes you feel way more powerful. How are you? Oh, I've got a cold, but I'm beating it. So much more empowering language than I'm suffering with, because that's just sort of like, oh, I can feel it. Even when I say it, I can just feel it. So yeah, be careful how you describe your situation. Ashley says, I'm excited for Ross. Cheers, Ashley. I appreciate that, mate. Good to see you, dude. Definitely. Oh, and he's also mentioned this, celebrating other people's success. Yeah, it's a huge thing, and it's not always super easy to do, but I promise you, when you operate from a place where you can celebrate other people's success, again, that makes you feel just a lot better. And just, like there's a lot more abundance in the world, as opposed to, operating from a place of scarcity. Because there is so much opportunity out there. I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes in the acting industry, but there really is. And me getting a part, or Ashley getting a part, or Caitlin getting a part, or Sharon getting a part, is not one less part for you. It isn't. There are parts over the last sort of 6-8 weeks that I've been up for. One in particular that would have changed my career again. Not as much as the other two that I lost a few years over the years, but this one would have been a big step up. Didn't get it, but it's like, actually I need to celebrate the opportunity I was given, and hopefully that will sort of grow in other areas down the line, as opposed to sort of wallowing on the fact that I didn't get that. Again, language, what a gift that was, not a tragedy. And sometimes you've got to label as well. I know it sounds completely incongruent, but you've got to label some of the worst times of your life as gifts. Whether that's a relationship breakup, it sounds awful, but even the death of a loved one. Rather than, I had to do this with my dad, rather than going, oh, you know what, it's such a tragedy that I lost my dad when I was 24. I mean, it was fucking rubbish, to be honest with you. It was really one of the worst days of my life. But I have to, so I don't just lose then and then lose again and again and again every day I think about it for the rest of my life. I have to go, God, what a gift it was to spend 24 years with this guy. What a gift it was, to be able to grow through that tragedy and grow through that adversity and become a better person, a stronger person, and a more empathetic person, and someone who just, can now be in a place when my friends lose their parents where I actually get it and I can be there and I can know how to support them. What a gift that is, not a tragedy. And I know it sounds mental, but it's a really good thing to do for yourself when you start looking at the world through just more optimistic lenses, ultimately. And you get a choice of what you put on in the morning. You can put your pessimistic glasses on if you want, or you can put your optimistic glasses on. The choice really is yours. So that was the first thing I just wanted to go over with Andy. Language, really, and imposter syndrome ain't going away. It's going to be there in areas of your life forever, right? And that's fine. Just you can deal with that. It's not something that you go, oh, I'm broken because I still feel like that. No, you don't. No, you're not. It is just a part of life when you are. I think if you're not feeling it to a certain degree as well, you're not pushing hard enough, because it means you're staying comfortable in it. When you're entering into a different part of the industry, maybe you've been an actor for a long time, you've got used to that, but now you want to branch out a bit into directing. You're like, oh fucking hell. Sorry, I've got to stop swearing. Facebook will just ban me. You've got to, you might feel like, oh, I'm an imposter. I'm not a director. I'm not a writer. I'm an actor. Oh, and when you're pushing yourself, you are always going to feel imposter syndrome. So when you're feeling it, celebrate it. It's a good thing. Brendan says, I am so grateful of the recent in-the-room meetings I've just had. For me, it's not about securing the role. It's knowing I've got through the big boys' doors. Nice one, Brendan. Fingers crossed for you, though, mate. Hopefully you will get one of the things you've been seeing for. My hit rate's not fantastic at the moment. It's about 1 in 6, but I'll take that, mate. I will take that, definitely. Let's have a look. Oh, and Andrew's got a film. He says, so grateful for doing first sci-fi horror film. Nice one, man. That's wicked. And Alex, he's used to the swearing. Thanks, Alex. I do have to stop it. I'm so glad my mum doesn't tune in. I don't think she's ever heard me swear. I hope not. Anyway. I heard her once when she fell over in the. It was pretty bad. I had to take her to hospital. She fell over and nearly broke her ankle, but it didn't. Thankfully, it was just badly sprained. It looked bad though, but I did hear the F-bomb drop, and it made me run downstairs and go, "What's going on? Like, you don't swear." Yeah, it looked literally like she snapped her leg in half. It was all right though. In the end, she learnt a lesson. What a gift, not a tragedy. Right. Next, we're looking at failure. And again, we kind of cover this a little bit. This is, again, about making a paradigm shift in the way that you look at it. Andy said some really good stuff on this broadcast about the acting umbrella, basically, in terms of, your job as an actor is not just when you are on set. That isn't when you're acting and when you're an actor. It's when you're acting, but it's not when you are just an actor, when you are working on set or you're on a stage or whatever. This is something I need to do as well, and I feel we all would benefit from, is realising that it is all part of being an actor. Working that shitty job, is part of being an actor. Failing is part of being an actor. All of the things that go into you progressing your career, good and bad, is all part of being an actor. And failure equally is part of that as well. So I'm just going to play you again, just 2-minute clip, and then we've actually got a bit on day jobs as well. Speaking of day jobs, I've got a bit on day jobs, but this is one of Andy's biggest failures, and what he learned from it. This failure cost him £70,000, That's a lot of money in it. That's a lot of money for it to cost you. But it's just one that he was a failure of his, that he was prepared to share, that is all part of being in this industry.
I thought it only fair that I should share a couple of my many failures with you. And then
That's one way you lost the job in the Mummy, though.
I literally got the job, and then my agent said, yeah, you've got the job, and we'll find the money's going to be. I mean, wasn't used to sort of earning big money. It was like, yeah, we think it's going to be 60, 70 grand. Holy shit. Oh my God. These are the dates. Pinewood and Morocco. And so it's the actual full offering. No. That'll be the next couple of days. Go smoke a cigar. And I was like, okay, but the offer's not in officially. We've got the dates. It's official. And that was a Friday. And on the Monday, the phone rang and they said, don't know how to tell you this, but they've lost $20 million off their budget. And they've cut 4 of the parts, and one of them's yours.
How did you flip that on its head then to go,
well,
this isn't a failure?
You don't flip it.
No.
Well, the point of failure is not failure, is what I was saying earlier, which is you've got to start seeing it as it is all part of being it's all the umbrella of being an actor. That's it. So I can come on here now and say 22 years ago, I got stung terribly with that. Boy, did that hurt. But it's all part of what it is. And someone will say, you think that's bad? I shot a pilot in LA and I was on 35 grand an ep, knowing I was about to shoot 10 eps.
Oh my God.
I got fired at the read through. Not me, another mate, fired at the read through. Holy shit. Well, wait a minute. I went up for this play at it was going to be a massive tour, and the producers didn't pay up, and everyone. I sort of love it. I love it. I love that I've got those scars. You're always going to fail. You're going to fail to impress your parents. You're going to fail to impress yourself. You're going to fail to earn enough money. You're going to fail to pay your mortgage occasionally. You're going to fail to earn enough to eat that week. You're going to fail to, but you're also going to succeed in a million ways. And you just have to start acknowledging what those successes are. And part of it is just to be able to go, I'm doing my best.
actonthis.tv, get your membership. I'm sick of saying it, just get a bloody membership. Come and join us for these live calls. You will get an absolute ton out of them. Failure scars. I like that. It's kind of like little badges of honor, isn't it? And I think what you said at the end there is really, really important as well. The ability not to judge yourself, I think, is quite an incredible power if you can develop that. A lot of people, myself included, I can really be harsh on myself sometimes and judge myself unfairly sometimes if things don't go my way. And what you said at the end there is really, really important. Ultimately, succeeding is just knowing that you are doing your best. And the thing is with that just requires a lot of honesty with yourself. And I've had a couple of moments in my life, actually, where someone's asked me that question and has challenged me a little bit. When things haven't been working as I wanted to, they said to me, well, either your shit's not good enough, basically you're not good enough, or you're not going all in. You might be 70% in. You're not 100% in. And I was like offended in the moment. I was like, oh my God, I know I'm good enough. And I'm doing everything I can. And then I sat with it for a bit and I went, no, you're bullshitting yourself, Ross. You are not doing everything you can. You might be telling yourself you're doing your best, but you've got so much more than what you are perceiving as your best right now. And I think that's probably always the case and still is the case now. And I went, no, I remember sitting on the train on the way home from this meeting where this person had just told me that. And he told me that in a conference in front of 900 people as well. And I was a guy afterwards, because it was a proper mic drop moment. And I was the guy afterwards that other people at the conference were coming up to and going, oh, fucking hell, that stung, didn't it? Oh my God, when he said that. I was like, yeah, it did. But actually, again, I've got to label that as a gift. And I remember this was a guy called Gary V, if anyone's ever heard of a guy called Gary V. And I remember emailing him on the way home. And it was his wife's birthday, actually. I thought, I'm never going to get a reply. And he's got millions of followers. He runs a huge company. He's never, ever, ever going to get back to me. But I thought, I'm going to email him. I'm just to put it out there, just to sow that seed and just to write my feelings down, then an email of thanks and gratitude, send it out there. And I got a reply back. Let me see. I think I've probably still got this in my inbox. This was years ago, but I couldn't freaking believe it. Gary V. So I sent him. Oh, where's that here? I've definitely still got it. I will not have deleted this. No chance. Gary Vaynerchuk. There you go. So I sent him this email on the train at 27 minutes past 3 on the 6th of May, 2017. So 6th of May, 2017 at 27 minutes past 3. This was his wife's birthday, and he was in a different time zone. He'd flown back to America. At 36 minutes past 3, he sent me an email back. It only had 3 words in it, and it was just yes, yes, yes. Because I'd said to him, listen, I'm pledging, I'm going all in. I'm not fucking about now. And it transformed everything about my life, to be honest with you, and this industry and it transformed this community. This community in Acts on This would not be anywhere near what it is now if it wasn't for that conversation. So sometimes, you've got to, not judge yourself, but also be honest with yourself as well. Because I don't take criticism, or I didn't back then, very, very well. Because I really did think, I'm doing everything that I can. And when I actually had a word with myself, I was like, you're not doing everything you can, Ross. You're telling yourself you are, but you're not. And I still think I've got stuff in the tank. I'm definitely pushing harder than I've ever pushed before. I'm probably doing too much in terms of the tasks that I do within this community and within my business and stuff that I know I should just outsource now. I got to bed at 2:00 in the morning last night, and then to run your life and get up and go to the gym in the morning and still do all this at nearly 10:00 at night. That the day after, it's hard. So I feel like I'm going to bed with the tank empty almost. But there's definitely ways that I could work smarter and then put even more in. So it's about just being honest with yourself, and then if you really can look in the mirror and say, even if you don't have everything that you want, but you can say, listen, I know 100% I am doing my best. I think you've got to be okay with that. Got to be all right with that, and you've just got to know that one day things will pop. You are sowing those seeds; they're out everywhere, and at some point, some of them are going to start sprouting. Do you save all of my emails alongside Gary V's? Tony, absolutely. Tony, we've obviously emailed one of your podcasts, haven't we? Yeah, definitely. Tony, send me some motivational emails. I will save them definitely. For sure. Shannon says, positivity, always hard sometimes to be grateful for where you are now, but always take time to pat yourself on the back and thank for the good things. Yeah, and it is. And sometimes it's about, I think as actors as well, we can be very much, what's next? You could have just got a job, and then you get that panic where it's like, oh, that job's nearly over. What's next? Sometimes you just got to go, look, what's now? It's what's now. And I'm going to celebrate just now, basically. Because one thing we've probably learned over the last 18 months is you haven't got a clue what could happen to you, your loved ones, the society, God knows, Look at all that bloody flooding that's going on at the moment in Belgium and stuff. And we got a bit in London yesterday, didn't we? But, that's not sort of crazy flooding that you would expect out in the countryside and rivers and stuff. That's like in Belgium seeing suburban streets being washed away, where you go, oh my God, this looks like a street like I live in. You just got to be grateful for everything that you have, and if above all you don't have anything bar your health, that's like my Achilles heel. As long as I've got my health and the people I care about have, everything else is genuinely all good. If I ever get a health scare, it cripples me, and I'm so regretful of the day before I had that scare of going, why was I not so happy about all the problems I had in my life? Because now I've got all of those, and I've got this thing like this really scary. Luckily, whenever that's happened, it's never amounted to anything, touch wood. But yeah, you've got to remind yourself of that sometimes as well, and going, actually, all this extrinsic stuff, it doesn't mean anything. Day jobs. Andy's take on day jobs. Who's got a day job they don't like? I had one for 11 years. I liked it for the first 2. It's only the 9 years that were a bit tough. I'm drinking a Costa coffee at 10:00 at night. That's when you know you've got problems. Who's got a job they hate? And what is it? Actually, what do you all do? What do people in our community do for a job? I'd love to know. I know there's some people in the community who, actually loads of people used to work in sort of front of house and stuff at theatres, but obviously that all closed down a while ago. Hopefully you're getting back into that. But what do most people Most people do on here. Let me know. Josh says mine's really flexible. Can't complain. Brendan, you're an NHS angel though, but he says he's not. He wants out of that. We'll get you out of that, Brendan, ASAP. Mark doesn't mind his, but I don't want to be doing it when I'm 47. Josh delivers furniture, supply teaching for Esther. Shannon doesn't like a job, but it is paying. Oh, I've missed your comment. I'm sorry, Shannon decided to go really quick. James is here. James, amazing, mate. James quit his job. His teaching job. Your comment again has gone off my screen, James. I couldn't read it, unfortunately, mate. But congrats on just going all in. James went all in, quit his job, and then the day after got a self-tape off one of the biggest casting directors in TV. Tony's got a data entry job with a tech company that he loves. They're the best company I've ever worked for, but in the next year or so, I plan to be full-time with coaching. Make it happen, Tony. Go all in, mate. 100% commit. Part-time night cleaning job for John. But I'm grateful, maybe back performing in October. Nice one. And night cleaning is better than day cleaning, John. I imagine you don't have to deal with any people. I'd hate it if I had to clean somewhere public through the day and then I'd just cleaned it and someone put their fingerprints on it or something like that. Brendan is sick of the sick. I bet you're getting frustrated, Brendan. I was getting frustrated on the train today seeing people just forgetting that the pandemic still exists. And I'm just like, come on, guys. I know I might be a bit paranoid, but you lot are not taking it remotely seriously. Try to transition into supply teaching and tutoring. This is Natalie, promotional brand ambassador for Indra. Works as a learning support assistant and enjoy the job for Nick. It's most flexible of the jobs, but it's for term time only. Rach is working in a restaurant, the classic, she says. Yeah, I worked in retail. I worked in retail for 11 years. As I say, first 2 years, quite enjoyed it. Then I just lost faith in humanity. Because I was just working with people who did not appreciate me whatsoever. I sold computer games in a computer game shop, so I would have people on Boxing Day, and I get it. I know you're upset. You bought something for Christmas, like an Xbox, and you've opened it up and it's been faulty. But I didn't make it. I wasn't in the factory in China putting your Xbox together, mate. So don't throw it at me, call me an F in this, and ask me what I'm going to do about it. Because all it makes me want to do is punch you in the face. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do that. Generally because people who would behave like that were a bit bigger than me. But yeah, God, I was like, I've got to get out of it. And do you know what I did? I convinced myself one word of advice, and it's not really advice. Obviously, you're all big boys and girls, you can do what you want. But I know I stayed in that job 3 or 4 years too long because I was scared. I was scared of what was going to happen when I left, and my tiny pay packet that I was working way too hard to get and should have been paid more. I was worried what was going to happen when that went. And I know that what I eventually did is I went, right, I'm just going to save up 3 months' money. I'm just going to not basically do anything or spend any money on anything nonsense. I'm going to stop buying even Boots meal deals. I'm going to start making sandwiches to take to work. And I saved up money for 3 months and I went, right, I'm out. See you later. I've got 3 months' money to live. And the fear that it put in me made me hustle my ass off harder than I'd probably ever worked before. I got a voiceover agent. Well, I'd kind of had one sort of like in the background whilst I was making that transition. I went, listen, I'm available all day, every day now for voiceover. I'd done my voiceover demo, all this sort of stuff. I was like, if you can get me any work, I'll do anything. And an agency took a chance on me. Mary Lou, shout out to you. And that changed my life because I started to go, oh my God, I can earn 200 quid in an hour that would have taken me a week to earn for my £5.75 job. But it made me put the work in. So just again, contemplate, are you just staying there because it's comfortable? It's almost like I'm stuck in a shithole, but it's my shithole and I'll defend it for my life. It's kind of how it was. It was like, I'm unhappy, but you know what? Like, I'm down here in this hole, but it's my hole. Don't try and get me out of it. But I just had to jump because also as well, I thought at the end of the day, if it all goes wrong, I can just get another shit job. There's so many of them out there. I live near the Trafford Centre in Manchester, a big shopping centre. I was like, if it all goes wrong and in 3 months I come back with my tail between my legs, I can just get a job in another one of these shops. So yeah, have a little think. Maybe you're in the same situation. I definitely stayed there 3 or 4 years too long, I think. Definitely. And Brendan's devising a one-man show to take into care homes. Wow, man. They'll pay me enough to not have to do any nursing shifts. I'll be giving back as an entertainer, Brendan, that's a win. And Brendan, you love singing and stuff, mate. So Brendan, they would freaking love you in a nursing home. They honestly, do it, Brendan. Sort that out. Yeah, that's your homework. I want on the next broadcast next Monday. I want you to book your first gig. So I've not played this day job thing out. Is Andy on day jobs? He's done a shitload of shit jobs. Like there ain't a successful actor in the game who has not been in that situation that I've just described. Remember the old proverb: "Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors." So I guess that's just all about navigating your career while still living your life. How have you balanced it?
I've always done other jobs so that financially I wasn't relying on acting.
Yeah.
You know, and I list that in the book elsewhere. You know, the list of jobs I've done, not all fancy jobs. I mean, grafting, driving vans and lorries and cutting my hands on glass that I was delivering, and
bloody hell,
you know, phone rooms and just shit. But I was never depressed by that because I knew I am doing that. It's noble. Grafting, to do that, especially if it's a job you don't want to do, makes my blood boil when you see these things like EastEnders star, delivery driver, stacking shelves.
Yep.
It's not an embarrassment, quite the opposite. Embarrassing is you're too lazy to do it and you get repossessed. You can't feed your family. That's embarrassing. What is noble is I love what I do so much. I am prepared to do this other stuff and risk other people looking down at me and risk my family not understanding why. When are you going to give this up? You're never going to work. You've worked once or whatever. And yet staying with it and thinking, this is what I love. They don't get it. This is the thing that makes me happy. So for me, that was always a big thing. Not letting pride get in the way of what I wanted to do. And the other thing was, I have always included my family on everything. I'm blessed with a very supportive wife. She's been brilliant because it is not easy being married to an actor. You need someone who understands the ups and downs of the finances. I mean, Soph works as well, but the ups and downs of the finances, the ups and downs emotionally, what it's like, the struggle of it. And she has been amazing and supportive.
actonthis.tv. Once again, if you want to unlock the full 90-minute chat with Andy, yes, Graft is noble. I loved how passionate he got about that. It is noble. And it is to do a job that you don't want to do in order to fuel a job that you do, as long as you are still going all in on that job you want to do, so you're not just getting complacent in this shit job because it's comfortable, is a noble thing to do. Something that I think we've all been through. As I say, I did it for over a decade. 11 years of my life, where all of my friends, when I left drama school, they'd all been at university and done business degrees and medical degrees and all of this sort of stuff. And they were leaving uni on £30,000 or £25,000 a year graduate jobs. And I was getting paid 10 grand to work in a toy shop. It was embarrassing. And I was like, I'd go out on a weekend and I'd you sort of meet people in clubs and stuff, or you'd meet girls in the club, and then the next day they'd go shopping with their friends in the Trafford Centre and they'd see me I'd played it cool the night before, and then they saw a loser boy with his pile of PlayStations and Xboxes behind the counter in game. It was not a good thing. It was not a good place to be in, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I said I did it too long, but eventually I'm gonna use the money I am getting. I'm gonna take as many shifts as I can in a 3-month period, save up as much money as I can, and I am out. And I'm giving myself a shot at what I want to do. And it wasn't easy at all. And there's been some of the most some of the times I've struggled the most since leaving there over the years. But it was the best thing I ever did. I dread to think there are people. There's only a couple, but there's people who, when I was there, I left them many, many years ago now, who are still there, who were telling me when we were both there in 2000 that after the Euro 2000 football championship, they were going to leave. 21 years ago. They're still there because they just got stuck in a rut. So yeah, I thought that was wicked advice, definitely. And that quote there, I even wrote it down. Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. It's the same for actors. your acting career, I don't think anyone's acting career is smooth, but if it is, it's not making you any better. Like sometimes having those choppy waters just sort of like make you better at navigating the industry and life in general. So yeah, if you want to go and watch the full chat with Andy, actonthis.tv, click on preview features. You can go and watch a little preview of that feature there. Here's all the other features we've had recently. We've had some incredible guests on recently. Melissa Johns, who you're going to see in Celebrity MasterChef very soon. Is that? I'm sure that's like out. I've seen more clips of that recently, like even today. Johnny Weldon, Twitter legend, was on the week before that. We had Mildred Yen from United Agents, Wendy Scazzaro from Felix de Wolf, Stephen Graham, and Hannah Walters the week before that. The guys from 53.2, Holby City and Doctors casting director, Emma Sylvester, Steve Hughes, an incredible director, is directing some huge TV stuff. Just had some like really, really wicked guests on. You'll find the full, if you are a member, if you click onto your members area, you'll find the full chat with all of those people in your members area here. And that brings me on to tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we've got an exclusive. The first time this incredible casting director has ever been on actonthis.tv in the 11 years it's existed. And actually, I don't know if I've seen this person do anything like one of these Zoom sessions at all. I've seen other members of her team, casting associates, etc., do sort of like workshops and that sort of stuff, but I have never seen this casting director in particular take part in any of these kind of sessions that I run. And this casting director is, if I scroll down, it's taking place in 21 hours and 39 minutes and 43 seconds. Carleen Crawford, an incredible casting director who just, oh God, I mean, it's just like cast some of the biggest film and TV shows out there. She does all of Ken Loach's films, like things like I, Daniel Blake, Sorry We Missed You, Billy Piper's I Hate Susie, which was just getting nominated for loads of BAFTAs recently. She cast that. His Dark Materials, the Jack Thorne drama based on the books. She's just cast 2 new BBC dramas, The North Water and SAS Rogue Heroes. A Channel 4 prison drama called Screw that I auditioned for. Had a great time, didn't get the part, but it's a freaking fantastic drama that'll be out, I don't know, maybe end of this year, next year. But go and have a look on Carleen's IMDb. You'll see so many incredible shows there. And tomorrow night, she's going to come and spend 90 minutes with us, 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Basically, a deep dive into her casting process, her team, her office, because she's got offices in Glasgow and London. There's many members of her team, more members in Carleen's team than of any casting director that I've known before, to be honest, with her having 2 offices. We're going to be looking at top strategies for nailing your next self-tape or Zoom recall. There's things she is seeing actors doing right now on Zoom auditions that she is like, they think we don't know. They are doing these things and they are cheating on certain things and that sort of stuff, but actually we do, and it's really letting them down and their performance down. Going to go through all of that. Again, the psychology of acting and sort of crushing your audition when you get the opportunity, getting on a casting radar. It's just going to be an incredible session. If you're not getting involved with it, I genuinely think you're hurting your career. If you go to actonthis.tv/live, you'll see this page. You can click on any of these green buttons here, grab your membership. Like I say, £24 a month for 7 sessions. What does that work out at? Like £3, £3.50 a session. Most people charge like £50 for an acting workshop. It's insane. So you will just not find better value in the industry. Actually, if you get a year's membership as well, you get it even cheaper. You get it for roughly £20 a month for 7 sessions. That is less than £3 a session. But I'm going to play a little trailer that me and Carleen recorded just to introduce you to her before tomorrow night. Like I say, if you want to get involved, actonthis.tv/live, get your membership. And here's a little clip with me and Carleen. Actors, have I got a treat for you? I want to invite you to what is going to be an incredible actonthis.tv live Zoom session. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 27th of July at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here, casting director for some of the biggest films and TV shows out there. Smash hits like I Hate Susie and His Dark Materials, Ken Loach films, I, Daniel Blake, and Sorry We Missed You. Upcoming BBC drama, The North Water, Channel 4's upcoming drama, Screw, and just so much more. It's Carleen Crawford. Carleen, thank you so much for being here. What are we going to be chatting about on Tuesday night?
Hi, Ross. Can I put you on a retainer for our all our press and publicity services?
Definitely.
So I think on Tuesday night, it would be really good to just do a little bit of a dive into Carleen Crawford casting, how we work, who is in our office, and just, show you behind the curtain of Oz a little bit at KCC Limited. I think some of the things that I'm talking to actors a lot about at the minute when I'm meeting them is surviving the increase in self-taping.
Yep.
And I would love to just talk about that from a casting director's point of view. And also maybe some tips for Zoom recalls. There's a couple of cheat things that I don't think are going in people's favour at the minute. And really just anything else that comes up a lot for you with actors and how to keep in contact with casting directors, things like that.
Absolutely love it. It's going to be an incredible session, actors. If you want to get involved in this, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all future sessions. We do it every single week with a top casting director, actor, agent, writer, director, producer, the best people in the industry. And to finish off, Carleen, a little bit of pressure. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
Oh, you know what? I think we're proper humans at KCC. We can prove that to you if you listen. Might be a bit of a giggle.
Nice. They are all human beings. I don't know why actors are so scared. Be there. actonthis.tv/live. Go grab your seat. actonthis.tv/live. Colleen is just lovely. So nice. Like I say, I had an audition, one of those Zoom recalls with her recently for Channel 4's Screw. And it was just such a lovely experience. Everyone in her office was really nice. Like, the way that they, really efficient as well. The way that they ran that audition was just great. Like, just really, really nice people. And like you said at the end there, I think lots of people just think that the people that we get on Acts on this, like, when they're working at the levels that they're working at, like, there's something esoteric about them or different, or they're not human and that sort of stuff. And she's like, look, we're just completely normal people who love actors. And she loves hearing from actors, just having banter with actors, and like, it's just dead approachable and fun. Obviously, you've still got to approach these people the right way. We're going to be going over that in terms of, when to email the office, who to email, who's in the office. There's lots of people, like I say, in KCC Limited. So just going to be an incredible session. Get yourself over at actonthis.tv/live. Get your membership. You lot who are members, you'll receive your Zoom links tomorrow. I send it out twice. Remember, you're going to get a Zoom link at 1:30 with a 6-hour warning, and you're going to get a Zoom link at 6:30 with a 1-hour warning. Same Zoom link, obviously. But do come and join us live for this one in particular. I just think it's going to be a great session, and it's the first time, as I say, I've ever seen Carleen do something like this. It's the first time she's ever been on Acts on This, and I've been running the site for over a decade, so it is a little bit of a coup. It should be a good one, definitely. Brendan says she's a minx. I don't know what that is, Brendan, but there you go. Let's go zooming into tomorrow, says Caitlin. I feel another Pointer Sisters moment coming on. What are you talking about, Andrew? I don't even know what that is. That sounds like a great session, says Nick. Poppy says it's going to be awesome. No, it is, honestly. It'll be wicked. And there will be a chance for, some people to, like always, we get 3 or 4 people on, don't we, to ask a question themselves. Obviously, there's always loads more people attend than 3 or 4 people, but I will try my best to get people on who haven't been on before or for a while. Or ultimately, it doesn't really matter that. I'll get the people on who just ask the best questions. Think of, of questions, and it's not like weird out there stuff necessarily and out of the box thinking. I don't want to know what Carleen's favourite chocolate bar is. It's not relevant. Some of the questions I see in the chat, I like that sometimes. I'm like, why have you asked that? But yeah, so, start thinking of questions now that you really want to know, about, that you think might benefit other people, a situation you might be in your career that, you're struggling with, but you think other people might be struggling with, or something about the way your office works, or I don't know. Basically, those people who ask the best quality questions will get on camera tomorrow night. I'll do my best to bring on I will do my best to bring on the best questions. So do come and join us. It's 3 minutes to 10. We're going to have to start wrapping it up, but thank you so much for being here tonight. Massively appreciate it. As we said at the start, I know the Olympics is on. People have chosen to watch this over the Olympics. I'm not into the Olympics. I couldn't care less about the Olympics. I hope everyone in the GB team does well, but sport's just not my thing. I love playing it, just not watching it. I get jealous. I'm like, I want to do it. Although Tom Daly they won the diving, didn't they? I don't want to do that. I don't want to throw myself off a 50-metre diving board. I'm not jealous of that. Definitely not jealous. But yeah. Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited, says Caitlin. I had it in my head that the Pointer Sisters did that "We Are Family" song, but yeah, I'm so excited. Who remembers the Crunchy advert? They used to have that on the Crunchy advert, didn't they? With the roller coaster going in the chocolate bar. That was quite a good advert. That I always remember that. Right, Sharon's not into the sport either. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. But yeah, that's happening tomorrow. Next week, I'm still finalising the guest for the session after this one. The week after that, you'll be happy to know that we're going to do another cocktails and conversation evening, because last time we did that for members, you guys were like, I want to do this once a quarter. Well, guess what? It's a new quarter. So we're going to do another networking night, effectively, where we bring the whole community on together. You can bring a cocktail or two with you on Zoom. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, doesn't matter. And we just get, do breakout rooms, get the community, again, to sort of just galvanise. You all get to meet each other, ask questions and get support from each other, or just hang out and just chill out. The week after that, we've got Jessica Jeffries, incredible casting director, coming on to talk about motion capture and performance capture, an area that I've never covered on ActsOnThis.tv. I'm almost embarrassed to say I've never covered it. I don't know why. I'm a huge fan of computer video games, CGI within films. So much is done these days with green screen and motion capture and performance capture. It's a huge industry and it's lucrative for actors as well. So we've got Jessica coming on to talk about how you can get into that and involved with the big studios for motion capture and performance capture the week after that. Just got incredible guests coming, guys. So there's never been a better time to be a member of Acts on This. There just hasn't. So spread the word. Tell your friends. Sharon says, if that cocktail and conversation is while I'm here, I'll be doing it 53-2. Get yourselves a 53-2, Sharon, Cassandra, and take your laptop, and we'll and you can tune in from there. Yeah, with real cocktails from Simon Naylor. We'll make you at 53-2. But yeah, get yourself down there. I still haven't been. I bought a plaque on the floor of 53-2 for Acts on This, but I still haven't been there. I need to sort that out. Right, so I'm going to finish off tonight with a mashup of Andy's session. And yeah, don't forget, go get these books. If you do get these books, tweet me at Act on This TV as well, and also include at Andy Nyman with a picture of your books. I want to see what you think of them. But they are great. They're really, really good. Let's just choose a page at random before we go. Give me a number between 1 and I don't know, 117. First person to put a number between 1 and 117, and I'll read out the golden rule between 1 and 117, and then we'll call it a night or a day for Lauren Kinsella, who's tuning in from LA. I'm jealous, Lauren. It's like you've got more time than we have. 20. Oh no, Shannon was in first on 3. So let's have a look. So I'm gonna have to go from. Oh, hang on, because 3 is obviously right. I'm gonna go from here. 1, 2, 3. It's about drama school. Basically. Some teachers at drama school are terrible. Some are okay, and some are amazing. That's part of your training, learning who to listen to. And I think that applies to freaking life. Some people are shit in this industry and will just try and con you out of everything they can and promise you stuff that they have never achieved in their own careers. I see a lot of people selling nonsense. Some people are all right. Some people and communities are amazing. Our community is freaking amazing. So you should come and get involved in that. Boom. Let's finish on that. But yeah, that's really good advice. Like literally learning who to listen to in life and who not to listen to is just important. Like, oh God, it's so important, isn't it? And not worrying about other people's opinions of you or whether this person said that or they're going to think this. Do you unapologetically screw everybody else? As long as you're not hurting anybody. But like, if you want to put something out from your acting career on Twitter and you filmed it and you're happy with it, put it out. Don't just hold back for fear that some dickhead who you don't even know is going to write a bad comment about it because, in the words of Johnny Weldon, as he said to Sandra, they need to go and F themselves. Johnny knows all about Twitter. He's probably the most famous actor on it at the moment. For creating his own content, that is. He's awesome. Right, I'm going to finish up with this this clip of Andy, like a mashup of everything. If you want to get the full version of this, as I say, get membership to That's on this, and you get the full 90-minute chat along with probably 400 hours worth of other incredible coaching for the biggest names in the business in your members area right away. And I'll see you lot who are members 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night with Carleen Crawford. Going to be amazing. Until then, love to everybody. Bye for now. You will see him in The Rock's upcoming film Jungle Cruise. He's been the star of TV shows like Peaky Blinders, ITV's Unforgotten, Amazon's Hannah. He's not just an actor, but a director, writer, and an author too. It's Olivier, award-winning Andy Nyman. Andy, how are you this fine evening?
Left home at 17, auditioned for drama school, got into 2, failed at 5. Including the guy at Manchester Poly pulling me aside and saying, a guy called Jock, saying to me, Curtie, let's have a word. You're the worst actor I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly, I was not paying me to say this. I would just urge everybody, particularly because they're so cheap as well, go out, get these books. You've written here, if you're a jobbing actor, managing to pay your way, be proud, it's damned hard.
It's noble. Grafting to do that, especially if it's a job you don't want to do, makes my blood boil when you see these things like EastEnders star, delivery driver, stacking shelves.
What advice would you have to people who are feeling like a bit of imposter syndrome?
And the first thing that I would urge people to do is to stop saying nervous. You replace the word nervous with excited. I wasn't used to sort of earning big money. It was like, yeah, we think it's going to be 60, 70 grand. And that was a Friday. And on the Monday, the phone rang and they said, don't know how to tell you this, but they've lost $20 million off their budget. And they've cut 4 of the parts and one of them's yours. You've got to start seeing it as it is all part of being it's all the umbrella of being an actor. That's it.
How do you feel about mentorship in the industry? Have you had a mentor and have you been a mentor to others?
Has being a director made you a better, or you to perceived to be a better actor, or has being an actor made you a better director?
Directing in film has definitely made me understand it's worth doing different things as an actor on different takes. Be happy, you'll work more.
Yes, that's in the book.